All right, so prepped the PSA rock for the neighbor in case he comes back by, so he can try this. I don't remember. I think these are Supersonics because it was super loud without my earplugs in. So got the plugs back in. I ain't hitting shit. Let's see how quiet it is though. Those might be subs. I can't tell. I can't even see where I'm hitting to get good hits on target for us. It's hitting low. Those are definitely supers. Otherwise, I don't think it would have locked the slide back. But works good. Just like with subs, it has an issue. Nobody makes a light recoil spring so far, but I think being it's easy. Let me show you how easy it is. We're gonna do it with the can on since I don't want to take it off, but since that spring is really visible, I've been thinking I have a spare one. They're only like $9 for the spring. I've been thinking about cutting a few coils out of it, which obviously you're gonna have to cut it on both sides because it's captive spring. Cutting a few coils out, which I don't recommend. I recommend like all kinds of shit, like handling loaded guns and handing them to your friends, but I don't recommend cutting springs out because that spring, you know, it's the recoil spring, but also what you got to think of is that is what keeps that slide closed, because this is not a tilting Browning design barrel. This is basically a little bit of a delay, see, but the barrel doesn't go down in the give my brain a minute. In the ejection port, the barrel doesn't go down like it would in a Glock or something like that. And the front of the barrel doesn't go up, so it's basically a straight blowback. So see, once it gets to that point, then the barrel stays and it goes back. So basically the only thing that's keeping that slide from coming back and gas come out when the round goes off is that little bit of small delay right there. And if you take too much of the spring tension out of it, then it's going to be able to cycle really easy, and it might actually come back and open up right in here while there's still pressure in the chamber, which would be bad because that pressure is going to cause a few things. It'll cause the brass case to blow out on the side. It could break the gun because that gas coming out is going to go everywhere. So sometimes you'll see failures of a gun like right where the barrel is, where the chamber is, because it'll just, all that gas will come out and something's going to have to give. So for like the SIG P322 that I have over here, it's a whole lot easier because, and I'm not going to take it down and show you because I got to take this thread adapter off, but this spring, when you take the gun apart, the spring isn't captive, so that spring is just in there, and there's a little barrel bushing that stays on the inside of the slide. It comes out, but I'm saying like it lives inside there. It's not externally. So that one is really easy. I actually just ordered 2 lightweight springs. I think the factory spring is 15 pounds, and the one I ordered was, I don't know, maybe half that. I don't remember. They were like $15, so I ordered 2 just to see, because you add extra weight, like the red dot. Even though the SIG Romeo Zero is super light, any weight on the slide or the suppressor being on there, because my suppressor is heavier than what they recommend for this gun, it doesn't allow it to cycle. So what's going to happen is the barrel is fixed, which it kind of, if you understand like how a booster works on a piston suppressor, might be getting too far into the weeds. You might not know what I'm talking about. Anyway, the slide coming back the barrel stays, but still they recommend that you don't have a really heavy can on there, and all I have is a really heavy can. Let me show you real quick the booster thing that I was talking about in case you don't know, because I hate when I watch a video and the people are like, oh yeah, you know, if you don't know what that is, look it up. Well, I'm going to show you what it is. So things like this, remember, normalize, see that brass in there? Normalize being a master of your craft and knowing how to handle a loaded gun. So on this gun, this is a SIG P365 XL. So on this gun, what happens is this has a tilting locking barrel. So when the round goes off, the barrel comes back. It's hard to do when there's an actual magazine in there and around the chamber. But I'm gonna do what everybody tells you not to do, and I'm gonna cover the whole slide and not give a fuck. But so when it comes back, actually I can't cover it and not give a fuck because you got to see what I'm doing. So when it comes back, when that slide comes back, that barrel tilts down, and so as that's happening, the front of that barrel actually moves back too. See, the whole thing moves back. So let me clear this because I do have to show you exactly how it works. And have it be clear to show you more of it working, because I got to rack it all the way back. So what happens, see how the angle of that barrel, and then when the slide goes forward, that barrel goes back down. So what happens is, if you have a suppressor out here, that whole assembly is going to go back. Because see how the slide goes back and the barrel goes back? It's just a little bit before it tilts and locks, but there's a small amount there that the whole assembly, the slide and the barrel, come back at the same time. So if you have a 9mm traditional, even a lightweight can out here, what's going to happen is that extra weight's not going to allow the gun to actually cycle back, the slide to cycle back, and the barrel to stay there. Basically what's going to happen is the slide's going to want to go, and that barrel is going to stay put. Kind of like that, I don't know what it's called, that little, you know, when you see the movies and everybody on their desk, the office has that those metal balls that swing on a little thing, kind of like a pendulum, and the ones in the middle don't go anywhere, but the ones on the outside do. That's kind of how this works. Whatever that scientific fucking voodoo is called, is when this whole thing has to come back, it's basically going to really keep it stuck because of the extra weight out here. So that slide's going to just go back, but the whole barrel is going to stay there. And that's not good, because you need the barrel to actually come back and the gun to cycle, you know, to tilt, lock, and unlock and all that good stuff. So what they have designed to fix that is, let me grab my can. So this isn't going to make sense because it's not exactly what I was talking about, because this is a 22 can. 22 cans, from what I've heard, there's no 22 can that has a booster. So they call it a Nelson device. I think the guy that designed it, maybe that was his last name or something. So basically what it is, when you thread the gun or the can onto the gun, I got a good pocket I can put that in. Fucking flashlight's too big. So instead of having just a direct thread, this is called a direct thread, where this threads right onto the threads of the barrel. Even though this does have an adapter. So a direct thread just threads right onto the barrel, but you can take that whole assembly out, that whole adapter assembly, on like a 9mm can or a 45 can or whatever can that has a booster. And inside of there is this like little cartridge that goes in there, and it has a spring. So what happens is you can watch, even though I said I don't want to say, hey, go watch other videos. I don't have a video of it because I don't have a booster can. But you can watch high-speed videos of, I think Silencer Co. or Silencer Shop or one of them have high-speed videos of showing what happens is the whole thing inside of there with the spring, the barrel comes back when the round comes out of the, you know, out of the can, the barrel comes back, and it allows basically the can stays where it is, and the whole assembly kind of moves because the spring is in there. So basically like the whole slide will come back, but the can stays where it's at, and then it will finally, the spring tension will, you know, the spring will be compressed, tension will override the resistance of it, and then the whole can will come back too with the slide. So basically it's just the way that they designed it where it can work, instead of having a direct blowback like this is with the little can, or like how the can works on like when I'm shooting any of my like PCCs, you don't need a booster on that. You need a booster on a pistol typically. And that's it. So long version of me trying to make it like a short video of 1 minute of me shooting this gun. I gotta get back to shooting. I came out here today for the video of the Cal-Tech Sub 2000, so I gotta get back to shooting that, and I gotta win this battle of getting this thing on there. Look, I'm putting it in the wrong hole. PG-13, don't let your kids watch my shit. There we go. Let me load some subs up in this mag, and we'll see how quiet it is, and then we'll, I'm probably not gonna film it. I'm just gonna do it myself.